Today's April 15th, and this is your reading lesson. Today, you're going to make sure you react to the post that has this with a smiley face. You'll click on your assignments tab, and you will click open the reading lesson 415. You'll review and watch the link for the lesson, follow along with the PowerPoint, reread me and Uncle Romy, complete character chart that's at the end, complete the exit ticket, and you will turn this assignment in. Okay, so don't forget, under assignments, once you click it, you have to click that turn in button. It's super important to remember to hit the turn in button, okay? So make sure, like I said, that you react to the post with a smiley face and you watch all the videos that are embedded into this PowerPoint. Okay, so today's day 3 of me and Uncle Romy. We're going to work on understanding characters today. We'll reread the story. You'll watch the YouTube video on the character analysis strategies, analyze characters from the story. Okay, so at the end, you'll complete a chart that you're able to analyze the characters. You'll complete the exit ticket, and you will turn it in. So today's objective is that we use text evidence to visualize characters in a story, and that we're able to describe characters in detail. So I can better understand a story by paying attention to characters' thoughts, words, and actions, and by visualizing. So don't forget that visualizing means that when I close my eyes and you're telling me a story, that I can actually see that story in my head. So if you told me this awesome story about how you went to a playground and you played on some new playground equipment and you were on the swings, I would sit and I would close my eyes and I would pretend that I'm watching you or imagining that you're at a playground and there's some shiny new equipment and that there's kids playing on swings. And I would be able to close my eyes and imagine that in my head if that was your story. Okay, so visualizing is using details from the text to form pictures in your mind. Okay, so in our story, we have our friend who, he went from North Carolina, he's in New York, and then he, has this great, gift that Uncle Romy gives him for the train. And it has, as he's telling you what it has on it, it has a ticket for a baseball game, this bright lights in the city. So when you think of a city, you know that there's tall buildings, a ticket to a baseball game. So you're imagining that you're holding a ticket for something in your hand. So all of those details actually help you understand what the character is looking at. Okay, so as you read me and Uncle Romy, use the details in the text to help you picture the characters, the places that they go, and the things that they do, their actions. Okay, so we're going to watch this video at the bottom. If you click the link.
As we read fiction, we come to better understand the characters. Characterization is the process by which the writer reveals the personality of a character. This is done in 2 ways. Direct characterization is when the writer directly describes the personality and traits of a character. Indirect characterization shows things that reveal the personality of a character. Because the author hasn't directly told us something, we have to think carefully and make inferences. We can use a simple trick to help us better understand indirect characterization. When you want to better understand a character, use the acronym STEAL to help you. S stands for speech. Think about what the character says and how the character speaks. T stands for thoughts. Consider the character's personal thoughts and think about how the character is feeling. E stands for effect on others. Think about the character's effect on other people. How do others feel or react in response to the character? A stands for actions. What does the character do? And how does the character behave? L stands for looks. What does the character look like? And how does the character dress? Let's recap. When the author directly tells you something about the character, that is direct characterization. When you need to make an inference about a character, that is called indirect characterization. Remember to think steal. Steal works not only in books, but when you're watching a movie or a play. So the next time you're reading a good book, remember to think steal.
All right, so we have that acronym of STEAL, and that helps us to visualize the character a little bit better. Okay, so characters are the people or the animals in the story, right? So we say, oh, well, who are the characters? So who are the characters in our story? Who are the main people in the story? Okay, we have pretty much two main people, right? Who are they? Sometimes we have stories that have animals as characters. Okay, so then it says, what do they make the choices? Why do they make the choices that they make, right? So when we ask why do they make the choices that they make, we're saying what motivates them? What's the reason for them doing something? Why did they choose that? Okay, and then how do their actions affect other characters? So that's the relationships between people that are in the story, you know, how characters act or feel towards one another, right? Do they have a good relationship? Do they act nice to each other? Do they have any problems? Do they have a bad relationship? Okay, so those are some things that you want to think about as you are trying to visualize and understand and analyze the characters. So here's an example. So we have James. He's our little friend. He came to visit his aunt and uncle in the city, and his thought is Uncle Romy looks like a giant, and that came from page 234. Okay, and then it says he talks to Aunt Nanette about Uncle Romy, and you can say that well, his actions or his words are, well, doesn't he just paint? So that tells you in his mind, he really doesn't know much about Uncle Romy. He knows him from a shadow. He's not close to him. He talks to his aunt about who he is. And you can see that his thoughts about him, well, doesn't he just paint? And then as the story grows, we can see that he gets to know Uncle Romy and he realizes that changes. So he's analyzing Uncle Romy. So these are his thoughts of analyzing Uncle Romy. Okay, so you guys are going to fill this out. You're going to select a character from the story. You can pick James, you can pick Aunt Nanette, you can pick Uncle Romy, and you're going to take a character and you're going to describe them, right? So if you pick James, maybe you want to pick scared. And then pick some evidence, sentences from the story, two pieces of evidence that show what would make him scared. Maybe you want to pick Uncle Romy and you're going to pick something along the lines of creative, right? He's an artist. He might be creative. And find two pieces of evidence. Let's stay away from using words like nice or good, you know, simple adjectives. So let's use some more descriptive adjectives when you guys fill this out, okay? You are going to fill out this character study, okay? So I gave you the pages to try and refer to. You have James on page 236, Aunt Nanette on page 236, and Uncle Romy on page 238. What are their thoughts that are going on? What is their action on that page? And what are the words that go with the action and their thoughts? Okay, and to wrap it up, you guys are going to answer this question. How did paying close attention to the characters' thoughts, words, and actions help you visualize and understand the story better? I want you to use the race strategy for this. Okay, so make sure you restate, you answer, cite a piece of evidence, and then wrap it up at the end. Okay, if you have any questions for today's assignments, please make sure you reach out to me on the Reading Teams page, and I will be more than happy to help you. If you have an issue with clicking, let me know, because while you're active in the assignment, I can log in and see you, and then I can guide you and show you how to do it. Okay, so don't be afraid to reach out if you have any issues. Have a fun day, guys.